Hey everybody, it's Mr. Dan here. Would like to submit my entry into the Interweb Kaiju 2000 subscriber contest. Congratulations to Casey for hitting 2,000 subscribers. Interweb Kaiju is a name I've seen in comments a lot. And then it's one of those channels I'm like, what? I haven't subscribed yet? So I just did that a few days ago. Watched a bunch of videos. So here's my entry into the contest. Just by way of background, huge Godzilla fan as a kid. Every time Godzilla came on TV, it was must-see TV. Oh, as a matter of fact, this is interesting. Picked up, there's a whole video or videos about this guy here. Picked up this book a while ago, The Frightful Dr. Shock. He was the horror host. It was on television on Channel 17, UHF channel, in the 1970s. So he was the guy, barring any nonsensical sports interruptions, he was the guy showing monster movies on Saturday afternoons. And in the book, there's actually a list of everything that he showed, everything that was shown, and the times, and the day. So I've got it narrowed down there to two. I've got two possible dates that I watched. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. That was the title. Godzilla versus Ibira, I think, is the actual title. But I remember specifically being so excited to see it, and my dad saying, "We got to go get a haircut." Speaking of, that's why I have the hat on now, because I need a haircut. But he was saying, "We got to go get a haircut." And, I had hours to go before it started. But I was like, "Oh, we can't go. No, Dad, we can't go." And he's like, "Oh, come on." So we got to the barber shop, and he walked in. He told the barber, "Well, we got to be home by 3, because Godzilla versus the Sea Monster was on." And the barber kind of played along with him. I was like, "Okay, well, by all means, we'll have him out by then. Can't miss that." So I have a distinct memory of that. So I'm going to talk about this book in more detail later, but I thought that was cool that was in there. Not too many Godzilla movies appeared on any of the Dr. Shock programming. I have other distinct memories of watching some on Halloween nights. Anyway, huge fan. Have remained a big fan into adulthood, my alleged adulthood. My son and I have seen most of the more recent Godzilla universe films in the theater. And I would like to go back and revisit the whole series, actually, if I can find the time, just to see how they hold up today. I watched Godzilla vs. Gigan the other day. Had a lot of fun with that, remembering that. Anyway, let's rambling on here. First question: what's your favorite kaiju movie? Without having seen many of them for years, I'll just go with the original Godzilla, the one that was on American television with Raymond Burr. Seems like the most obvious answer. Haven't seen it in a long time. Looking forward to going back and rewatching that. So that's the one that started it all. Second question: is Godzilla more of a sci-fi or horror franchise? I'm going to go definitely with more of a sci-fi, just because of the origins of Godzilla, being rooted into the atomic bomb and the atomic/nuclear age that followed, and coming just a decade or so after the end of World War II, where there were so many advancements in technology. Unfortunately, most of it was lethal technology. You see that continuously throughout the films. Not that it helped any of the army, the various armies that the various kaiju demolished, with their giant microwave beams and all these things. And there are some horror elements, and there are films like Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, which is I guess more of a horror movie, and certainly gave me the creeps when I was a kid. But you also look at many of the plots that involve space travel and aliens and various other scientific plot lines, however dubious they are. So I would go with more of a science fiction genre. Okay, and question the third, and I did, I have a lot of videos to watch on the Interweb Kaiju channel still, which I'll eventually, hopefully get to. But I did kind of take a quick perusal. I didn't really see any of my answer represented. Gosh, I'm long-winded sometimes. Good Lord. So anyway, the third question is, what kind of reviews would you like to see on the channel? Now, I was also, obviously I watched Godzilla films on television when I was a child. Such a treat nowadays to go to the movies to see a Godzilla film. But that was obviously how we watched them back then. And in addition to that, I ate up anything that was monster-oriented on television, which meant this guy here. Okay, my daughter and her husband went to Japan a few years ago, and they brought, they knew that I have a fondness for Ultraman, so they brought me back this Ultraman, and they found some Ultraman in the wild down there, and they took some pictures. I'll see if I can find those. I know that sounded funny, but there was like an art display that incorporated hundreds of Ultraman figures, so of course they had to take a picture of that. Huge fan, but it wasn't just Ultraman. You had Johnny Sacco and his flying robot, okay, classic series, and then you had, and now I'm blanking on it.
Space Giant. Goldar, a 50-foot robot, and his electronic space family are
Yeah, so the Space Giants, that was the third one, with Goldar and his electronic family. I don't remember that opening that much, but there was Goldar and Silvar, and I forgot what the little kid robot was called. But you blew the whistle once, I believe it was. I forget which order it went in. Maybe once for the child robot, 2 for Silvar, the wife, which I think happened like one time in the whole series. I don't remember, but that was a very rare occurrence. And then 3 times. Unless I'm getting it backwards, and it was once for the big robot. But, usually at the end of every show, Goldar was called to battle the opposing kaiju that the aliens unleashed on Japan. So that's my answer. Some Japanese television kaiju shows, I guess, just in general, would be the third answer for that. Okay. Thanks a lot. And also, of course, go subscribe to Interweb Kaiju and watch some of his outstanding kaiju content if you haven't. Okay. Later.